1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1. Hey guys, it's Gabe. Today I just want to show you some music and ideas to show you, hopefully inspire you to try some new things out. So starting the new year, I really wanted to make a new song and just, full of good vibes, and seeing how the unexpected schedule that I've been having and like some of the changes I've seen already in the new year, I thought it would be appropriate to have some odd time signature in the song. So first, some thoughts. Odd time signatures usually refer to anything that's outside of 3/4 or 4/4. Generally, this is because the subdivisions of these time signatures for each beat, they're just not equal across all the pulses. So let's take a look at 3/4. So beat 1 is normally considered a strong beat, while beats 2 and 3 are referred to as a weak beat. This gives us that traditional kind of waltz feel. But if we look closer, the subdivisions include 2 eighth notes for every quarter note. So now let's take a look at 5/8 and how that is a little bit different. There are obviously 5 eighth notes here with a strong accent on the first eighth note, but what's more interesting is that you can also place a second strong accent on another note. For example, beat 3 is a common example of breaking up 5/8 into smaller pulses like 2/8 plus 3/8, or vice versa. So this compounding is useful for creating grooves that maybe just make more sense to the ear. So these concepts have obviously been used in classical music and 20th century music by lots of composers. And it's also been used in jazz and rock music, metal, pop, and wait, am I using labels to talk about music? So wait, what about electronic music? Well, we actually have a great amount of examples for that too. I mean, I'll have them on the screen right now. So, thanks to how easy it is to manipulate audio, whether it's been via tape or computers, we've been really able to work with time, but in more popular music formats, it's just not really common, or there's just a lack of variation. I mean, come on, it's gotta be pretty hard to make some feature-based or electro music outside of 4/4, right? Well, not really. So how does it sound? Well, let's listen to a little bit of the song I made. Cool. So how can you try this? Here are my tips. First of all, regardless of time signature, I still think a strong motif is key. A strong melody is key in your song. So don't worry too much about like, oh, should my song be in 17 or 16 or 18/8 or whatever. It's actually not as important as having a strong melody. So you should first think about your concept. What's your idea? What's your goal of your song? Are you really trying just to trip up people with a very jagged, accented, and jarring kind of feeling? Or are you trying to offer them something a little bit more interesting to the ear, but maybe still a more kind of a resolved melody that at the end it doesn't feel like it leaves you hanging? Tip number 2 now, which is just using compound times and adding 2s and 3s together to build maybe a more awkward time signature. So in this case, I have a beat of 4/4 really, and then I have 3 notes that are just repeating. So 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3. Right? So one thing to try here, even if you're working inside 4/4 and you're making a melody, even if you're adding up to fill up 4 bars of 4/4, but maybe your melody is just using things like 2 2 3 2 2 3. That would be a bunch of 7s. Maybe you're trying to fit that into your groove of 4/4. It's all fair game. You can just keep experimenting, try compounding different things. So now let's talk a little bit about my song here. I just wanted to have a nice telling melody during like the highlight of the song, the peak. So to do this, I wanted to kind of keep you on the edge of your seat until the very end of the resolution. So this meant having a long phrase with lots of odd time in the middle, but overall it resolved in a kind of a gratifying way. So to do this, I have 2 groups of 7s, 2 groups of 3s, 2 groups of 5s, 2 groups of 3, just wrapping everything up into 36 eighth note values. With that in mind, I wanted to have a backbeat that would fall right into like a 4 on the floor beat. But once you get to 32, well, you have 4 more eighth notes. Well, that's actually 2 beats, so you can just do like kick, snare, and you're done. Just repeat. So pretty simple, but enough, geeking out about this. I really want you to listen to this. So here's my track. This one's called Reaching. I hope you guys enjoy it. So that's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching and just listening to this music and listening to me talk about breaking down all these rhythms and such. Hopefully you get some use out of these odd time signature concepts and you do implement some of it into your music, because it's a lot of fun discovering this and really getting the hang of it. I know at first it may feel kind of awkward, but once you get the hang of it, it's a lot of fun. And at the end of it all, don't forget to actually hum or sing or just tap out what you're doing, just because, you know, sometimes just writing out on paper doesn't come across as well when you actually listen to it later. Any questions and stuff like that, just leave it in the comments. I'll definitely get back to you. And don't forget to make some music after this video.